Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott, and today's activation is the second wind, reigniting the original fire of abundance. And before we begin, I want to invite you to a special 4-day event I'm hosting in Maui, Hawaii on May 14th through the 17th. This event will be the ultimate timeline shift. I will take you into your greatest timeline. We will reset your energy body. You will meet your higher self and merge with your future self. Paul Selig will be there, channeling Melchizedek. It's going to be amazing, and we have negotiated a huge discount on rooms at the Maui Westin right on the beach. I would love to see you there. You can find a link for this event in the description at www.brianscottlive.com/Hawaii-2026. The second wind, reigniting the original fire of abundance. This activation was written for you specifically, for the one who has been working toward abundance for a long time, the one who listens to all the activations, reads all the books, the one who started with fire, with the particular magnificent fire that arrives at the beginning of a genuine desire when everything feels possible and the vision is vivid and the energy of pursuit is its own reward. You remember that fire. You remember what it felt like to want something with your whole self, without conditions, without the careful management of expectation that repeated disappointment teaches. You remember the version of you who believed completely. That version of you is the reason you are still here. Because here is what must be understood before anything else. The fact that you are still pursuing, still reaching, still trying, still willing to listen to one more activation, read one more teaching, take one more step in the direction of the life you have been building is extraordinary. It is in fact among the most significant things that can be said about you. The ones who quit when the fire dimmed are elsewhere. You are here. You kept going through the seasons when keeping going required more courage than beginning did. You kept the desire alive through the disappointments that were designed, it seemed, to extinguish it. A desire that has survived disappointment is a desire that has been tested and confirmed. It is a desire that has passed through fire and emerged still burning, smaller perhaps, more carefully tended but burning. A desire that has persisted through the full weight of contrary evidence is a desire rooted in something deeper than optimism, something more durable than enthusiasm, something that belongs to the architecture of your soul rather than the weather of your circumstances. Circumstances change, weather passes, architecture endures. Your desire is architecture, and this activation is the moment it finds its original dimensions again, the full, unconditioned, unguarded, magnificent scope of what you actually want and have always wanted. Before the disappointments began their slow work of reducing the ask, managing the expectation, protecting the heart from the pain of wanting too much. You were never asking for too much. You were never wanting beyond what the universe is capable of providing. You were reaching precisely as far as you were designed to reach into the full expression of an abundant life, into the financial freedom, the creative fulfillment, the relational richness, the soul deep satisfaction of a being fully inhabiting the life it came here to live. The second wind is a real phenomenon in the physiology of endurance and in the metaphysics of becoming. The runner who has been going long enough hits the wall, the point where every resource seems depleted, where the body is screaming and the will is fraying. and continuing seems to require something no longer available. And then, often without warning, something shifts. A different fuel source engages. A reservoir that was always present but only accessible past a certain threshold of expenditure opens. Energy floods in. Cleaner energy, steadier energy, more sustainable and more powerful than anything the first wind provided. Runners describe the second wind as feeling effortless, as feeling paradoxically easier than the early miles when everything was fresh. The second wind arrives after the wall. You have been at the wall. You're about to receive what comes after it. What comes after the wall is the energy that was always waiting on the other side. The energy of a being who has been proven by difficulty, who has been deepened by disappointment, who has been made more capable and more genuinely powerful by the very experiences that seemed to diminish them. Your second wind begins now. Now, before anything else, before this activation lifts you, or the fire returns, or the second wind fills the sails, before all of that, let there be this. You are seen. The wariness is seen. The specific accumulated weight of having wanted something for a long time and watched the timeline extend past every estimate, past every hopeful prediction, past the point where it was easy to believe. The particular exhaustion of someone who has done the work, who has meditated and visualized and affirmed and taken the actions and held the faith and gotten back up after each disappointment with more effort than the original rising required, and who has arrived at this moment with a kind of tired that goes deeper than the body. That tired is acknowledged here with the full respect it deserves, because only someone who genuinely, deeply, completely wanted something could be this tired from the wanting of it. The indifferent do not exhaust themselves. The casual do not accumulate this particular quality of fatigue. This tiredness is the mark of someone who has been giving everything they have to something that matters to them profoundly. Let the significance of your own persistence be received moving forward fully, without the deflection that long-term strivers develop as a habit. The tendency to minimize what the continued reaching has cost and what it has revealed about the depth and the authenticity of the desire being pursued. The universe has been watching this reaching, and what the universe sees when it looks at the full arc of your pursuit, the whole story of a being who has kept going, is something it recognizes as its own. The persistence of desire in the face of difficulty is one of the universe's own fundamental signatures. The sun rises every morning without exhaustion. The river continues toward the sea without considering whether the sea is worth the distance. The seed pushes toward light without measuring whether the light will be sufficient when it arrives. Your persistence is cosmic. Your continued reaching in the face of everything that has tried to make you stop is the universe's own creative impulse expressed through the specific and magnificent instrument of your particular life. The universe does not abandon the desire it plants. It does not place a genuine, specific, persistent desire in a human soul and then arrange the cosmos to prevent its fulfillment. What it does, what it has been doing through every apparently contrary season, is prepare. Prepare the instrument. Prepare the soil. Prepare the timing. Prepare the precise convergence of conditions that will make the arrival of the desired reality both possible and sustainable. The preparation has been happening through everything that felt like delay. You are more prepared than you have ever been. Now, go below the disappointments, below the specific memories of the times when it seemed close and then receded, when the opportunity appeared and dissolved, when the breakthrough announced itself and then retreated, when you allowed yourself to hope fully and found the hope return unopened. Below all of that, below the accumulated scar tissue of managed expectation, below the careful, protected, smaller version of the desire that has been living on the surface. Go below all of that. Because below the disappointments, deeper than any of them, reach in a place they have never touched, regardless of how many accumulated, the original desire is still there. Still whole. Still burning with exactly the purity and the magnitude it had the first time you felt it, before any disappointment arrived to qualify it. Still carrying the full, specific vision of the life you came here to live. The financial abundance, the creative freedom, the deep relational richness, the mornings of genuine ease, the particular quality of a life lived without the constant background pressure of material insufficiency. Find it. Find it. The way you would find something precious that has been buried for safekeeping, with the specific confidence of someone who buried it themselves and knows exactly where it lies, beneath the protective layers, beneath the rational adjustments, beneath the learned carefulness and the reasonable management of expectation, beneath the fatigue. There, feel it. Feel the original desire in its original dimensions, the full scope of what you actually want, without apology, without qualification, without the careful hedging of a being who has learned to protect themselves from the pain of full wanting by never quite wanting fully. Feel it. As it felt the first time, unconditioned, unguarded, luminous, with the specific quality of knowing that belongs to genuine desire. The knowing that says, this is real. This matters. This is mine to have. This is the life I came here to live. The knowing is still true. It has always been true. The disappointments never changed the truth of it. They only temporarily obscured it beneath the residue of experiences that seemed to contradict it. But contradiction and truth are different things. The clouds that cover the sun are real. The darkness they produce is real. The sun is also real, and it persists behind every cloud, unchanged, still generating the same light and the same warmth it has always generated, waiting with the patient certainty of something that knows its own nature to be revealed again when the weather changes. The desire is the sun. The disappointments were weather. The weather has passed. Remember the beginning. Go back to the first moment the vision arrived, the first time the desire announced itself with full clarity, before you had any idea what the path would cost or how long it would take or what it would require you to survive, before any of that. The first moment, when the life you wanted became vivid enough to feel real, when the possibility arrived with enough force to reorganize your sense of what was worth pursuing. Remember the quality of that fire, the particular aliveness of a desire just discovered, the way it moved through the body, the way it accelerated the breath and sharpened the vision and made the world suddenly full of relevance and possibility in a way it had seemed before to lack. The way everything seemed to be evidence of the approaching reality, the way synchronicities accumulated and the right things appeared, and the path forward seemed to light itself step by step with the specific illumination of a dream whose time had arrived. That fire is still in you. It is still in you because fire does not go out in the places where it has genuinely caught. It may become embers, small and quiet, covered by ash, invisible to the casual observer, but embers are fire. Embers are the concentrated essence of fire, holding all the heat and all the potential of the full flame in a form that requires only breath, only oxygen, only the right conditions of air and space, and tending to become the full blaze again. You are the breath. This activation is the oxygen, and the conditions are right, brighter, than they have ever been, because the instrument through which the fire now burns is the instrument of someone who has been through the difficulty and survived it, someone whose desire has been confirmed by persistence rather than assumed by innocence, someone whose readiness for the abundant life is deeper and more genuine and more complete than it was at the beginning when the fire was bright but untested. The second wind is different from the first wind. It is better. The first wind carried the energy of enthusiasm, valuable, necessary, the essential fuel of beginnings. The second wind carries something different, the energy of certainty, the certainty of a being who has wanted something long enough and seriously enough and consistently enough to know beyond the reach of any discouragement that the desire is real and the deservingness is real and the outcome is real, already real in the domain of consciousness, already organized and moving toward form with all the patient, inexorable power of a natural process long underway. So put your hand on your heart, and I want you to feel the second wind arriving now. I call it from the ethers and within you. I call it to arrive within you. Feel it as a physical event, a deepening of the breath, a warming in the chest where the original desire lives and has always lived and has never, despite appearances, stopped burning. There's something the long road gave you that the short road could never provide. People who received their abundance quickly received it with the equipment they had at the beginning. The equipment of someone who had never been fully tested, the equipment of a consciousness that had encountered desire but had not yet encountered the full weight of desire held through difficulty, desire maintained across seasons of apparent contradiction, desire refined by the particular fire of genuine disappointment into something harder, truer, and more precisely calibrated than its original form. You received a different equipment. You received the patience that can only be developed by practicing patience, the genuine, earned, embodied patience that lives in the nervous system as a capability rather than existing only as an aspiration. You received the resilience that can only be built by requiring resilience of yourself repeatedly across a sufficient span of time and difficulty until the quality that began as effort becomes character. You received the depth of desire that can only come from carrying a desire long enough for it to move from the surface of the personality into the architecture of the soul. And you received something rare still, the genuine humility of someone who has been brought to their knees by the distance between where they are and where they intend to be, and who rose from those knees anyway and continued. This humility is among the most powerful frequencies a human consciousness can carry. It is the frequency of someone who has nothing left to prove to themselves, who continues entirely and purely because the desire is genuine and the destination is real and there is no acceptable alternative to arrival. This is the frequency that the universe recognizes as readiness. The abundant life arrives ultimately into the hands of the being who is genuinely ready to receive it. And genuine readiness is never the giddy openness of the untested beginner. Genuine readiness is the grounded, seasoned, proven capacity of someone who has been prepared by the full weight of the journey. The journey has prepared you. The difficulty has been preparation, wearing the disguise of obstacle. The delay has been development, wearing the disguise of failure. You are strong enough now. You are always going to be strong enough. The long road built the strength the abundant life required. So put your hand on your heart again and let the desire speak now. Let it speak from its original depth, in its original voice, before the disappointments taught it to whisper. You can have anything, be anything, do anything, experience anything you want. Let that desire arise now. Let it say, in the full resonance it was born with, exactly what it has always said, what it has been saying beneath every managed expectation, every careful qualification, every protective reduction of the ask. I want abundance. I want it fully, specifically, without apology and without ceiling. I want the financial freedom that allows every decision to be made from values rather than from fear. Where to live, how to spend the hours of the irreplaceable days, what work to accept and what work to decline, what to give and to whom and how generously. I want the specific number in the account that means security is absolute and generosity is natural, and the material dimension of this life is handled so thoroughly that the creative and relational and spiritual dimensions can receive the full investment of the energy that material worry has been consuming. I want the work to be the calling. I want to wake up in the mornings and move toward the day's creative work with genuine appetite, the particular hunger that belongs to someone doing exactly what they were designed to do, offering exactly what only they can offer, contributing to the world from the specific and irreplaceable frequency of their own deepest intelligence and the passion. I want the work and the abundance to be the same thing, the contribution generating the material return, the passion becoming the provision, the calling becoming the career in the full and magnificent sense of that word. I want ease. I want the ease that is the natural experience of a being whose outer life is aligned with their inner life, the ease that has nothing to do with the absence of challenge and everything to do with the absence of the grinding, soul-diminishing friction of living in perpetual misalignment between what you are and what the circumstances require you to be. I want this. I have always wanted this, and this wanting is valid because it is specific, because it is persistent, because it has survived everything that tried to extinguish it and continues to burn with the particular brightness of something the universe planted deliberately and intends to grow fully. Let these words land in the body as confirmation rather than aspiration. The desire is already answered in the domain that precedes the physical. The answer is already in motion. Now I want you to feel right now something being restored, something that has been contracting slowly across the seasons of long pursuit, pulling inward, protecting itself, reducing its surface area. The original dimensions of hope are returning, the original scope of the vision returning, the original quality of the wanting, unconditioned, unguarded, fully committed to the full possibility is returning. Feel this as a physical experience. The chest has been braced and guarded is softening. The breath, which has been shallow with the habitual self-protection of someone who has been disappointed enough times to breathe carefully, is deepening. The body, which has been carrying the weight of the long road in its muscles and its posture and its chronic low-grade tension, is beginning to set that weight down. The weight was the story about the distance. The story about the distance said it has been so long, and the destination is still so far, and the evidence of approach is insufficient, and the faith required to continue is more than what remains available. That story was real. It was the authentic experience of an authentic being moving through a genuine difficulty. And it was never the final truth. The final truth is that the distance is an illusion generated by the persistence of linear time in a consciousness that is at its deepest level outside of time. The field holds your abundant future in a state of completeness right now, fully formed, fully real, fully available, waiting with no impatience for the conditions in the visible world to align with what already exists in the invisible one. In the dimension of consciousness, the gap has closed by the desire, by the persistence, by the faith, held through every season of apparent contradiction. You are closer than you know. The seed has been underground for what feels like a long time. The seed is about to break the surface. The fire is returning. Feel it. different from the first fire, as the second wind is different from the first, warmer, steadier, deeper in the body. The first fire lived in the chest and the mind, in the excitement of the new and the untested. The second fire lives in the belly, in the bones, in the cellular memory of every time you got back up. It is the slow, immense, inexhaustible heat of absolute conviction, the fire of someone who has been through enough to know that the desire is real, that the universe is responsive, and that the arrival of the abundant life is as certain as anything in their experience has ever been. This fire produces a different quality of energy. The first fire's energy was urgent. The second fire's energy is power. The first fires needed external fuel, validation, signs, synchronicities to maintain its brightness. The second fire is self-sustaining. It burns on its own fuel. The fuel of a desire so thoroughly confirmed by persistence that it requires nothing from the outside itself to continue. The combination of complete desire and complete non-attachment to timing, the full wanting of the vision with the full surrender of control over its schedule, is the precise frequency that the field answers with the greatest speed and the greatest specificity. The being who wants completely and trusts completely, who holds the vision with absolute commitment and the timeline with absolute openness, is the being whose consciousness is generating the most coherent signal the field can receive. You are generating that signal now. Feel the power of it. The alertness without anxiety, the passion without desperation, the clear, strong knowing that the abundant life is real and it is yours, and that it is moving toward you with all the certainty of a tide returning to its shore. Now, you have needed faith during this process, and faith is a muscle. Like every muscle, it strengthens with consistent use and can be weakened by extended disuse. It is never broken, never permanently injured, but diminished enough in its responsiveness that it requires deliberate reactivation before it can generate its full force again. Your faith has been in a kind of rest. The rest was necessary. The disappointments that quieted the faith were real, and the quieting was the soul's protective wisdom in the face of real pain. A faith that never rests, that demands constant full expenditure without recovery, eventually exhausts itself entirely. The rest preserved the faith. The careful, reduced, protective hoping of the long middle period of the journey was the faith in its recovery mode, conserving itself across the difficult seasons for exactly this moment of reactivation. The faith that returns after the long road is wiser than the faith that departed on it. It knows now that only the journey could have taught. It knows that the apparent absence of evidence is never the evidence of absence. It knows that the visible world always lags behind the invisible world, that what is already fully real in the domain of consciousness takes time to crystallize into the domain of physical form, and that delay is refinement rather than denial. It knows that every single desire it has ever held, every desire that felt urgent and real and as impossible as this one, has been answered in the fullness of time, in the form that was genuinely right rather than merely immediately available. Every prayer was answered, every desire was met. The forms were sometimes unexpected, the timing sometimes confusing, but the answering was consistent. Because the universe is consistent, the field is generous, because the intelligence that governs the movement of consciousness toward its expressed desires is impartial, unfailing, and undefeated by anything a human being could arrange to oppose it. Let that faith return now to its full dimension. Place your hand on your heart again and feel it returning. Let it fill the spaces where fear and doubt have been living, the corners where hope had retreated to conserve itself. Let it restore them to the full openness that genuine faith requires to do its work. Your abundance was never canceled. This is the knowledge the second wind carries as its deepest gift, the knowledge that the setbacks were never reversals of the fundamental trajectory. The trajectory has been consistent throughout your entire journey, even though the seasons when it was invisible, even though the chapters when the evidence of forward movement was absent and the experience of backward movement was vivid. Every experience on the path has been moving you toward the abundant life, including and especially the ones that felt like they were moving you away. The failure that developed the resilience, the disappointment that deepened the desire, the financial setback that revealed the beliefs requiring transformation before the prosperity could be sustained. Every apparent reversal was a refinement. Every step backward was the gathering of momentum for a larger step forward. Every delay was the universe ensuring that what arrives will fully arrive in alignment with the being you have become, rather than the being you were when you first asked. The prosperity is arriving for the version of you that exists now. That version can receive what the earlier version could not have held. The earlier version had the desire, but lacked the depth. Had the vision, but lacked the groundedness. Had the faith, but lacked the proof of it. You now possess all of these, and the abundant life arriving into the hands of the being you are today will be received with a quality of wisdom, a quality of gratitude, of genuine readiness that makes its arrival both more meaningful and more sustainable than it could ever have been at the beginning. The waiting was promotion. You were being promoted through every season of the long road into the version of yourself capable of inhabiting the abundant life fully, sustainably, gratefully, the natural expression of a consciousness that has been developed by difficulty into genuine readiness for everything it has been reaching toward. The prosperity belongs to you. It has always belonged to you. It is arriving now into the hands of someone genuinely prepared to receive it. You are no longer waiting. This is the shift the second wind produces at its deepest level. The movement from waiting to inhabiting. The waiting posture says the abundant life is somewhere ahead, and I'm here, and the distance between the two is a problem to be solved. The inhabiting posture says the abundant life is the frequency I am generating right now, and everything I do from this moment forward is the expression of someone already living in the reality of their own abundance. Already moving, already building, already receiving, already here. Declare it now. Declare it with the specific, earned, undefeatable authority of someone who has kept going long enough to know that the declaration is true, that the abundant life is real, that it is yours, that every desire that is burned in you through the long road has been placed there by an intelligence that plants only what it intends to grow. The desire is the promise. The desire is the universe telling you what it intends to produce through you, in you, as you. The specific form of abundance that your specific frequency of consciousness is designed to express and receive. The desire has been trying to tell you this all along. Through every season of the long road, the desire has been carrying its original message. This is real. This is real. This is yours. This is coming. And now, in the second wind, you can hear it again. You can hear it in the original voice, clear, strong, certain, carrying all the authority of the cosmos behind a specific, genuine declaration of what is available to the one who has kept going. The one who has kept going is you. Speak the declaration with your whole self, with the tired part and the hopeful part and the wounded part and the still burning part and the newly reignited part, all of it at once. Take a breath. The deepest breath you have taken in a long time. The breath of someone who has just set down a weight they have been carrying so long they stopped noticing it as weight and started accepting it as simply the feeling of being in a body. Set it down. Set down the weight of the long road, the accumulated fatigue of the sustained reaching, the residue of the disappointments, the scar tissue of the careful hoping. Set it all down, and in its place feel what has arrived. The second wind, the restored fire, the original desire in its original dimensions, burning with the full magnificence it carried at the beginning and with the additional heat of everything it has survived. The faith rested and reactivated and wiser than it was when it departed on this journey. Carry this forward into the day, into the week, into the coming months that will show you, one accumulating evidence at a time, that something genuinely shifted here, that the second wind was real, that the reactivation of the original desire and the original faith produced the original condition for the arrival of everything that desire and faith were always reaching toward. The abundant life is in motion towards you. You are in motion toward it. The distance between you is closing with every breath you take from this new frequency. Every morning you greet with the restored fire rather than the managed dimness. Every hour you give to the work from the place of genuine, creative power rather than fearful adequacy. Every relationship you inhabit with the full presence of someone who has remembered that they are worthy of the full life. You kept going. You made it to the second wind, and the second wind in every dimension of human experience where the phenomenon has been documented is always the beginning of the part where everything changes. You are always going to make it. The fire burns. The second wind is activated. Welcome to the other side. Now, before I let you go, I want to invite you to join the Reality Revolution tribe. You can find the link in the description. We're having so much fun. We have weekly group coaching sessions. It's an amazing soul family gathering together. I have exclusive content you can't get anywhere else, audiobooks, meditations. We have masterminds. We have amazing sessions available to you. You can join me at www.skool.com, skool.com/Reality Revolution. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. There you will find all my episodes and podcasts if you want the direct links. I've updated the website, so go check it out. It also has my most recent events. It's all right there. You can also check out my art at www.newearth.art. And be sure to check out my second YouTube channel where I share my music designed to activate you. You can find it by simply looking up the Brian Scott Musical Experience. And welcome to the Reality Revolution.